Hi everyone, I'm so glad that you made it to our course again today. We're in the middle of a series called Chasing the Dream. This is provided to you for free from DOT, FMCSA Compliance Specialist. My name is Linda Jenkins. Our course today is going to go over our operations portion for managing your trucking business, rate negotiation, routing management, time management, and money management. And again, my name is Linda Jenkins. This presentation is being given by DOT FMCSA Compliance Specialists. We're located in Fresno, California. My name again is Linda Jenkins. The phone number at the office is 559-319-8464, or you can email me direct at dotfmcsacompliancespecialists@gmail.com. Remember, if you enjoy this presentation and the other presentations that I've put together so far, please feel free to join our email list today. That way you can get access to all of our new courses as we upload them. Remember to like, share, and follow us as well on our YouTube channel. So, for you to be able to get started in managing your business, you're going to have to know how to do negotiation. But you're not going to be able to negotiate if you don't know your numbers. So, generally speaking, I have put together these numbers. Now, please note, this is not going to be the same for everybody because everybody's numbers kind of vary a little bit depending on what your living circumstance is, also what kind of loads you're pulling, and such like that. But basically speaking, this allows for one truck that's a rental, leased or purchased trailer with one full-time owner operator and a spouse at home. So basically speaking, on a 2,500 mile week, your break-even point is going to be $2.05 a mile. For that to work, you're going to have at a minimum of $5,100 weekly gross. That's not net, that's gross, just to live and pay your bills. Now remember, these totals do not allow room for your business to grow. So at $2.05 per mile, if you wanted to grow your business, you're going to have to make more than $2.05 a mile. So like if you made $2.25 a mile on a particular load, then in that aspect, your business is going to be making 20 cents a mile. Now, it's not going to be exactly that, but it's going to give you a rough estimate so that you'll know how quickly you can save to buy your trailer, to buy another piece of equipment, or to bring another driver on. If, however, you decided, well, let's just up that by 500 miles a week, which is basically one day, okay, if you're running, about 9 hours a day. So that puts you up to 3,000 miles in 1 week. Now you are going to have more expenses because you've got more fuel and wear and tear on your vehicle. But hopefully it's going to kind of average out in the end. And as long as you have a pretty good 18-wheeler, your break-even point is going to be about $1.85 per mile. So and $5,500 weekly gross. And that's, again, just to live and pay bills. Now, these would be your bare minimums that you want to accept, depending on how many miles you're pulling for that particular week. If you're pulling less miles, you're going to have to up that up, for your cents per mile so that you're not losing anything. If you're driving more, just remember, eventually it's going to even out where it's going to cost you more. But, that's depending if you're running teams. There's a whole lot of different things that you would be able to add in there to get more than that per week, okay? Remember that the $2.05 per mile and the $1.85 per mile, when you're negotiating, that's your bare minimum. If somebody, like down in Florida, sometimes the rates are like really, really low. Over in Denver, it's kind of sometimes really, really low. Just know that, if you get into one of those areas where they're running freight low, and I know like over in New Jersey, trying to get out of New Jersey, sometimes it's very low. If you are running and you're having to take something that's low, then eventually you're going to have to find another load that's paying high to make up the difference of the money that you've lost. That way you'll be able to grow your business. Otherwise, you might as well just forget it and become a company driver, because you're not going to be making anything. But in my opinion, okay, and this is my opinion, and opinions are everybody's, if you run 2,500 miles a week, 205 should be your bare minimum. At 3,000 miles per week, $1.85 should be your bare minimum. And then that way you have at least a little money that you can, enjoy with your spouse, when you decide to take time off the truck. Just know, if you decide to take these cheap rates, you're not leaving any room for your business to grow. And I know for a fact right now that they're squeezing the little guy really, really hard. So even though these are cheap rates that I'm showing, that doesn't mean that's what you're going to get paid. You just have to hope that you can kind of average out the difference over a month time, okay? Let's move on. The next thing to make more money from your truck is your time management. Now remember, whether you're leased onto a company or you bought your own independent dispatcher, now this isn't for the people that do their own dispatching. This is for the people that either have their own independent dispatcher or they're working through a company and using their dispatcher. It's important, it's imperative to have great communication with that dispatcher, because while you're on your way to make a delivery, they can be looking for you another load. The more advanced time you give them, the better load most likely you're going to get. So, the big thing is give your dispatcher time to find your best rate per load. And also, if it is like a partial load, maybe they can combine them, en route, so that, you can make more money off of it. Make sure as soon as you get a best estimated time of arrival, and if it's less than 7 hours, you should be able to give them an estimated time of arrival before you get to the shipper or the receiver. The next thing is give them the best potential time of availability, the PTA, while you're at the receiver location. You can kind of go inside normally and find out from the lumper or from the supervisor on duty, the floor supervisor, how long it's going to take them to get you unloaded. As soon as you know, you go tell your dispatcher. That way they can get you scheduled in to pick up your next load as early as possible. The faster you can get from location B to location A, B being the receiving and A being the shipper, the faster you can get from one place to the other, and the shorter the distance, the more money you're keeping in your pocket. Now, once you've picked up your load, another thing that you need to remember is don't make unnecessary stops. Drive your full time. As my little cousin liked to say, keep your meat in the seat. And it's true. The more you open that left-hand door, which is the driver's door, the more you open that door to get out, the more time you're wasting. If you are running ahead of schedule by leaps and bounds, hey, tell your dispatcher. Maybe they can get you in earlier and get you moving on your next load. Time management is what's going to make or break you. If you're sitting in a lot for 3 days because you didn't turn in a notice, knowing that there was a holiday coming up, well, basically it's your fault. I mean, it really is. You have to take responsibility. Yeah, there are things that come up, but if you would have been talking with your dispatcher, who is the one in control of it, maybe he could have got you worked in at the end of the day. Who knows? But you'll never know if you're not calling and talking to them. I've had people say, "No, I never want to talk to my dispatcher." Well, that's stupid. Your dispatcher is the one that's getting you your money, and it seems to me that you would want to keep in constant contact with them. I don't care what they know about my business as long as they're finding me my loads, because as long as these wheels are turning, I'm earning. If you're not having good communication with your dispatcher, you're not going to make good money. So remember that with your time management. The next thing is you travel faster at night. Now, yes, there are dangers in traveling at night, but also there's advantages. And the biggest advantage, especially in the summertime, because as drivers, we all know you have two seasons, wintertime and construction, and that's it. If you're traveling at night, well, guess what? There's not as many cars and trucks on the highway during that time. So guess what? Who's going to get to go through those construction sites really quickly? Where if you were going through a construction site at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, hello, you're going to be there an hour, hour and a half. Where if you went through there at night, you might be only there 15 minutes, especially if you're going through Indiana and Chicago and places like that, in Ohio, where they always seem to have construction. So if you're running up the middle of the country, you need to be aware that you can travel faster at night. You just got to be prepared for it. Another wasted amount of time is going through your scales, going through your weigh station. And if when you're getting ready to go through a weigh station because you've been pulled over, you didn't weigh or whatever, you're going to get pulled in, at some point, at least once every other week, most likely, especially if you're a new company. Well, you need to make sure that you have everything addressed with your compliance and with your safety regulations, with your drug policy, with your maintenance schedule. All of that stuff needs to be handled. If you are concentrating on driving, you cannot take care of everything usually by yourself on everything else with regulation wise. It's very difficult to be an owner operator who's driving 11 to 14 hours a day. You're driving, but you're on duty for 14. Okay. And be able to operate that company. So if you're having issues with that, hey, give us a call. Our number is 559-319-8464. And I bet you anything, there is something that we can help you out with. We are experts in helping you guys out. That's the reason why I'm providing all of this free training for you. If you'd like to email me direct, it's dotfmcsacompliancespecialists at gmail.com. Now, we can look at our money management. I had a lady talking to me on Facebook today wondering, okay, how can you cook on the truck all the time? Because, I drove for 12 years. The whole time I was on the truck, I hardly ever went out to eat. I mean, every now and then I did as a special occasion, but basically I ate on the truck. And there's plenty of people that do. You just have to think about it and prepare ahead of time for however many days you're going to be out. And even if you can't prepare, there's always going to be some place where you can pull over and buy what you need. Whether it's like a Walmart super center that you can park at for a short period, even, you can go to shopping centers and go into like the Dollar General. I mean, there's just a lot of places now that you can go in and actually buy food at the cheaper places. All of these items here that I have pictured can be cooked on the truck with either an electric skillet or, as shown down there on the lower right-hand corner, one of those little car ovens is what they call them. They just plug into your lighter. So spend wisely. Leave those novelty items like the keychains, the shot glasses, all of that crap. Leave it on the shelf for people that are traveling. You have a job, not going shopping. Your job is to drive, and treat it as such. It's kind of like when the food truck comes at the office, okay? You have a choice whether to go out there and eat from that truck or to stay at your work desk and eat from your lunchbox at home, okay? This is how you can prepare stuff and take it with you. My husband, I prepare for him every time he comes home so that when he gets ready to go back out, he has his full meals. And if I can do it, you guys, you can do it too. And he cooks on board. Yes, my husband cooks. But we bought an electric skillet. So like the eggs in the basket, that's that eggs on bread there. You can cook that on the stove, on the electric skillet. All of that stuff there in the little bitty containers, you can already get that already fixed up where all you have to do is heat it up on the truck. And if you have, like there in the middle, the salmon, okay, take the fish, put it in the freezer, let it freeze. When you put it into your refrigerator, hey, you know what? It's going to actually keep your food even colder. Now, when you get your food, your meat from the meat department, don't leave it in those meat trays, because those styrofoam meat trays, not only do they take up room, but they take all of your cold air. So take it out of that, put it into a baggie, and then take it with you after you've frozen it. Other things that you can do is pre-prep the little aluminum foil things. You can do an apple, a cinnamon apple with honey. You can do, you know, bake the apple first, and then put the honey on top afterward. You can do like a pot roast, like what's pictured there next to it. I've also showed you on the lower left-hand corner how to put an omelet in a bag, how to make your omelets in the bag. Whatever you want to put into your omelet, put it in your omelet, but then put it into baggies. Put those baggies into like a gallon-size Ziploc bag, and boom, you got everything you need, and it won't leak because you've got baggies inside of baggies. In addition to that, and I love this next picture, it's actually not a refrigerator, guys. It is those little bitty white shelving units that you can buy at Walmart for like, I don't know, $15, $20. There's, you know, the 3-stack kind. And then they put them inside the closet, and they, what I used to do is I used to wrap a bungee cord around it so that it wouldn't open up the drawers and stuff. But basically, anything that you need, you can put it in there. And then lastly, over there, the one next to it is, you know, a shrimp dinner. So don't think that you can't cook on a truck. You most definitely can. I've cooked full Thanksgiving dinners on the truck. You know, of course, it was those legs, you know, the smoked turkey legs. But hey, turkey's turkey, right? Oh, and one other thing before we do this slide, you can buy those roasts that are already flavored, like the lemon pepper chicken, the smoked turkey breast and stuff like that, and also cook those on your truck in your little oven. The next thing is find your best and safest route. Invest in a good commercial GPS. That is going to save you everything. It's going to show you the best routes to your destination. It'll help you determine what your ETA is. Now remember, if you go over the 11-hour mark, say you're going from California to New York, you have to allow those 11-hour breaks in there as well. It'll teach you and show you how to avoid construction, how to avoid low bridges and underpasses. Remember, 13.6 is your magic number, guys. Your way stations, are they opened or closed? It'll show you where the toll roads are. So if you don't want to take a toll road, you don't have to. It shows you your weight limits for bridges and overpasses. It also shows approved roads in New York City. Remember, there's roads that you can get on and you can't get on inside of New York cities. city limits. So, you know, all of that stuff is addressed, but you can't use a regular GPS. You have to use a commercial GPS. Okay. And we discussed this on our last video, but you know, whenever you can, take a full truckload. The reason is because even if you're mixing loads, say you got two partial loads, that's extra money that you were making on that route that you had no intention of making initially when you know, made your first decision to run that route. Let's say you're going from New York to um, New York to, I don't know, Missouri. Well, on your way from New York, now remember I told you over in New Jersey, New York, sometimes you can pick up those loads and they just don't pay you hardly anything. Well, you can pick up another load if you have the right kind of merchandise on board or right kind of cargo. So you pick it up in Philadelphia and you take that over to Cleveland. Well, that load from Philadelphia to Cleveland is just extra money in your pocket because that first load actually paid for your trip. So everything you made on that second load, basically speaking, is almost full, you know, 90% of it is full money in your pocket. As long as you have time and you have permission to do so, always take a full load. So let's go back and review what all we've went over. First is know your numbers. If you know your numbers, then you can negotiate the best rate. Now, if you're running like for TQL, if you sign that paper, they've got like a paper that you can sign in advance of hauling any of their loads, or even if you have done it in the past, you can sign it at any time, telling them, hey, look, this is what my bare minimum is. And then that way they won't try to get you run loads that, you know, that's not going to be payable for you. Or, you know, you can also designate what your detention rate is, because a lot of places where they deliver to, they will hold you up. Okay. So that way you can at least recover some of your money. Just keep that in mind, guys. The next thing is time management. Work as a team with your dispatcher. Keep in good contact, keep in good conversation. The better you converse with them and keep them updated as to where you are and what your expected ETA is, hey, the better off you are. The more money you're going to make, the more money they're going to make. So they kind of like that. The next thing is your money management. Oh, and it works great with brokers too. If you're working directly with the broker, I was running Pella Windows, and my broker that I worked with, he loved the fact that I kept in contact because he always knew where I was. He knew when I was going to get there, and 90% of the time, I delivered early as long as they would accept it. The next one is your money management. Spend wisely. Don't buy crap you don't need. That's just going to put extra weight on your truck. Cook on board when you can. You know, make some of the different types of teas in mason jars or infused water, you know, in mason jars. Keep them on your dash or in the floor so that, you know, inside like a little basket or something so they don't roll around. But at the end of your shift, oh my goodness gracious, just go get you a cup of ice and you're set, you know. And it's more healthy than anything that you can buy because you know what's in it. Also invest in a commercial GPS. That's going to save you on those low bridges and roads you ain't supposed to be on. And last but not least, run full loads whenever you can. Combine partial loads, you know, as long as they will be agreeable to it. Combine those loads. That way you're not wasting your time or your money. So again, I want to thank you for being part of our series here today. Again, we are DOT FMCSA compliance specialists. We're located in Fresno, California. Again, my name is Linda Jenkins. Our phone number is 559-319-8464. Our direct email is dotfmcsacompliancespecialists@gmail.com. Now, if you'd like to join our email list so that you know when we're dropping our new courses, please feel free to direct message me or private message me, and I will be glad to respond back and get you on our list. So again, thank you for watching. I'm really enjoying this Chasing the Dream series. I want to thank you for joining me with this series that we're going through right now. Again, we are DOT FMCSA compliance specialists. We're located in Fresno, California. Our telephone number is 559-319-8464. You can email me direct at dotfmcsacompliancespecialists@gmail.com. You can also find us on YouTube under DOT FMCSA Compliance Specialist. If you'd like to join our email list, just shoot me a line that gives me your email address and your contact information. That way you can be notified of our new courses when we get ready to release them. Remember, if you enjoy this series, please like, share, and follow. You can do that on our YouTube channel, and we would greatly appreciate it. Again, our telephone number is 559-319-8464, and I'm Linda Jenkins. Thank you again for watching, and y'all have an enjoyable day.